And the funny thing here is that we might fail. So we have been invited, and I say we because it's you and me and everyone else who likes to follow along on this ride. We have been invited to launch a new brand. And so my idea here is that I'm gonna take you along and make videos along the way, showing you all the stuff that happens throughout the campaign launch. And to add to that, we are not gonna use any media budget during this launch. Actually, it's only gonna be costs associated with tools and things like that. So I'm gonna actually take you along from the planning process to the actual launch date and then what happens after the launch date. And the funny thing here is that we might fail. That's the best thing of it all, because then you'll see what that feels like. We don't know today, and I'm just gonna put this out there, bring you along, show you how I work, and you can contribute by adding suggestions in the comment field. So what brand are we gonna launch? Well, listen to this guy.
My name is Peter Lundgren. I just started a new brand. I've been in the clothing industry for like better part of 15 years now. And a lot of people always ask me if I could do bigger sizes. There's a big gap between the sizes available out there in the stores. Maybe like 99% of the stores only carries up to 2XL, but there's a lot of people that want bigger sizes. Like for years, I always thought it would be really inspiring to do something about that, to start a brand just for bigger sizes. The name popped up in my head. It's 12 grand. When I saw that name, I saw what I wanted to do. I wanted to create like a brand just for bigger sizes. It's just from XL up to 12XL. I wanted to do a premium brand that was leaning both against like luxury and street. Because looking closer into the clothing scene today, there's almost no brand out there that actually focus on like bigger sizes and leaning towards street. And also like that's brand driven. I wanted to do that. It was really inspiring to me to try to figure out a way to get this brand out there. 12 grand is a subscription service. It's if you subscribe to it, you get a shirt delivered in your size to your home, one shirt each month. And if you want to change the size, you just do it. It's free. You just send it back and we send a new one to you. If you're keen on not just settling for the clothes that's out there, it's really hard. You need to you find a favorite brand, and if this brand is actually carrying those sizes or not, it's a lot of closed doors. So for me, it was something that it was important. I wanted to do it. It's super inspiring. I wanted to see if just we could actually solve a problem this time. We could try to lessen the gap. So I'm super excited, and I hope the response, just for being in business for a month, it's been really nice. It's been really nice to go into a scene that's actually embracing us. People really think, okay, it's really cool. You're a new player into a new market, and they embrace you to say, hey, cool, we need more brands in here. So I'm super excited, and hopefully everything will go good.
So how do you actually do this? How do you accomplish this? How do you launch a brand without a budget? And how do you get something to grow from 0 to the first 300 customers? Well, the first thing you have to do is to understand the group of people that you are working towards. You need to find out some kind of need that they have, and you need to solve a problem. And for that, you need to do some market research. This, the brand have already done. As you heard from the description here, they have actually isolated a real core problem, and they found a solution in order to meet that problem. The second thing we got to do is to find the organic, or the reach, the total reach that we have available to us through people who are already engaged in communicating around this issue. So we went out online and we looked at influencers, we looked at websites, websites, we looked at articles, we crawled the whole internet essentially in order to try to find a base network. And we found that there are about 1.6 million people that we can reach through other people. Now, that is not to say that we're gonna reach all of them every single day, but if we manage to engage people, that is our total population that we can reach out to. The second thing we should do is that we try to harvest contact details. Now, with legislation that, has to do with privacy and data laws and things like that, we have to do this manually and we have to do this one by one. So that's just something that I need to put out there. This is very time-consuming work because you actually need to look for opt-in, you need to look for relevance, and then you need to be very cautious when you reach out to someone who has given you permission to contact them by saying like, hey, contact me here or something like that. The third step you do is that you, together with the network that you've isolated and found, you try to create some kind of engagement project, some kind of activation, some kind of challenge in this case, that will engage the group of people in order to make a thing out of the thing. Create some kind of PR or create some kind of movement or create some kind of content around what you want to talk about. What can we actually do in order to engage the group that we're trying to reach? The fourth thing is to get influencers to buy into the project. And so in this case, we're gonna reach out to a group of influencers that we identified, and we are gonna ask them to validate this challenge. We need to do something for real to get the validation from these people. We need to come up with that concept together with the people who are gonna validate it, and then we are gonna reach their followers, and their followers are the people who are gonna get us to reach, by either mimicking or by contributing with their own type of version or meta or meme or something like that. So we're gonna allow that to grow. We're just gonna start it off. We're gonna start it off by the validation through the influencers, and then their followers are gonna be the ones who are gonna carry this onwards. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna package this, we're gonna repackage this, because once this movement has set off, we can actually make an issue of this that will pick up interest from broader media. Because not until we have this kind of movement, not until we have the buy-in from people who are vested in this because they have this challenge, this problem, then we can start making this into something that is interesting for media and for press and for broader outlets that help us reach people who will eventually become our consumers. And once we've done that, then we can start working with some retargeting and with some repetition and all of those things that actually make us carry the interest that we created in the campaign or in the launch through to actual customers. It doesn't matter if we have a really engaged group we're working with, it doesn't matter if we have all the interest in the world. What does matter is to find a person when they are ready to buy, and not a second sooner or later than that. We can't expect that just because we get publicity, people are gonna buy from us. But what we can expect is that we can set pixels on the people who visit our website throughout the campaign period. And then we can retarget them with ads. Those ads will then, mimic whatever comes out of this activation, so that people recognize themselves, get inspired again, and then we have a clear call to action and probably some kind of offer that we combine with that. So that's the sort of follow through, and as you can see, there are a lot of steps in this that have to follow through in order for it to actually become something. And that's the exciting thing, putting yourself in there and just producing something that maybe will take off. And if you fail, well, then you tweak it and you do it again and again and again and again. Hopefully we will be, lucky and get this off on the first attempt. But most likely we will have to do a few of these rounds, networking, activation, and then some kind of retargeting before we reach our goal of about 300 new customers. So we'll see where we'll end up. If we're lucky or if we're great, depending upon how narcissistic you want to be about your own abilities, we might, succeed the first time, but not very likely. But you will get to follow along at least, and you will get to see whether or not we succeed or not. And you will get to engage and give us hints, because we will be tunnel viewing this, so we will be seeing, we will be blocked off. So maybe you have a suggestion along the way of what we should do in order to improve the results of this. The launch is in less than 3 weeks, so let's start doing this.